This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2022 Forest River Salem Cruise Lite, model 263 BHXL. Okay, which is a bunkhouse. So this is not a floor plan or a sales video. This is just I'm going to show you some of the components, how they work. Just go over the trailer a bit. These here, we're looking right here. These are both low point drains. That's the low point of the plumbing. This has regular scissor type stabilizers. You use a 3/4 inch crank or a drill with a 3/4 inch socket, whatever you want to use. But it has an added attachment. On each one of these jacks there's this thing called a strong arm right here. It takes the forward and rearward movement out of it when you're parked, when you're camping. It just gives you a little more stable experience. Basically, the thing to remember is you want this T-handle to be a little bit loose when you raise and lower these scissor jacks. Once you get them all into place the way you want them and it's all stabilized, then of course it'll be in a down position, then you'll tighten it, right? Therefore this inner piece can't move freely through the outer piece, so it stabilizes. It keeps it going from forward and rearward. So always make sure you loosen them up before you crank them back up. That's the key. And you can see, if they're a little snug, that's okay, just a little bit. But you don't want to loosen them so much that you lose them. But you want to make sure that you when moving the jacks up and down, you loosen it. Okay. All right. So the rear door goes right into a half bathroom. Well, it's more than a half bathroom. It's a whole bathroom. What am I saying? So you have that, plus power awning with LED strip. You got outside speakers. Now this vent right here, this is the vent for the range hood over the stove. So if you're running the fan in the range hood trying to vent to the outside, you always want to make sure that you reach up here and free up the baffle so it flaps freely. That way it'll vent to the outside. Otherwise you can just push it and keep it shut when you're traveling or in storage. Okay, you have TV out, signal out, plus power here, right here. Come on now, he must have just cocked it shut here. Hold on. There we go, right there. This is a spray air port to spray things down. You have, while we're over here, this is the fresh water tank fill. I mean, 9 times out of 10, you're just going to be using city water. You just hook it up and you're all set. But when you go to a campground that does not have plumbing on the campsites, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here and use the onboard water pump to pump the water. Everything will work just like you have city water, even though you'll be pumping from the tank. Okay, and before I open that, this white gate valve, that's to empty your fresh water tank, right? So if you don't want to carry the water around with you after you're camping, you've got some left, you just pull that and dump it. Now this is a quick connect fitting for your LP system. The reason it's right there is you have a griddle here, I believe. Yes, yep. You have a griddle. Now this griddle has to be plugged in down there. You can see there's a male connection here, and then there was the female under the trailer, and you have this rubber LP line. You can see this end hooks to the grill, and then this end plugs into the quick connect underneath the trailer there. Okay. So let me shut this so I don't. And there's your sprayer, obviously the one that goes in the port. Okay, sorry about the camera work. Obviously you can adjust the length of the legs, so it's if you're on uneven terrain, whatever you need to adjust, you can adjust them independently. You just push up on this piece right here and allow them to move. Okay, so this is your hitch. It's a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. We'll show you how it operates when you come to pick up your trailer, okay? It's a good hitch. This is just a reducer for your 30 amp power cord. You can reduce it down to a 20 amp. Okay, you can run most of the appliances. You can't run the air conditioner because it'll eventually pop a circuit breaker on 20 amps, but you can do everything else. Alright, so you have a power tongue jack right here. And if it ever fails on you, you have trouble hitching or unhitching, you can pull this plug here and you can crank it manually. Let me look in here to see if they've got the crank here or... Oh yeah, there it is. Let me walk back around the other side. Yeah, it's the small crank right there. That one will do it. Okay. I'm also looking to see where the larger crank is. I'll have to find that and make sure it's in here for you. Also, that metal piece hanging horizontally there, that has to do with bringing the awning in manually. You have to really read the directions and look at the videos. The best way to do it, to learn how to operate it. But it can be brought in if something goes wrong with it in an emergency. Okay. All right. So that's the power tongue jack. You have 2 LP tanks, full automatic changeover regulator. You have a deep cycle marine battery right there, and this is the kill switch for the battery. Okay. So that's on right there. Okay. So the type of slide out you have is it's made by Lippert now, but originally it was called a Schwintek. Now it's called I think a Lippert through the wall or in wall slide out, I think. But people still refer to it as a Schwintek. Okay. You can get it to move during emergencies. You have to read the directions, and a great deal of the time you can get it to behave. All right, so this is your power cord. It's a 30-foot, 30-amp cord. These are your dump valves, of course. You got 2 gray, and then the black right there. The black is toilet water and waste. The grays are sink and shower water. Always dump the black first, and then dump the gray, so the gray water, which is cleaner than the black water, will wash out the hose a bit. And then let's look around here. After you do that, you can come to here. You see, this is the black tank flush, and you leave the black tank valve open. You hook the hose of the dump station on here. Whoops, on here. Turn it on, it'll flush your black tank out, clean off the sensors, that sort of thing. Okay. I mentioned you can fill the tank. I showed you where you do that on the door side of the trailer. Well, this is what you'll use usually. It's the city water hookup. You just hook it up and you're all set. Okay, and that's just cable and satellite through. This housing tells us we're pre-wired for a backup camera, so you can always add that if you choose to. And while we're looking up, the manufacturer states that you should check the roof seals and the roof in general every 90 days. So someone needs to go out there and look at all the sealant, make sure there's no cracking or separation. Look at the attachments and the roofing material, make sure there wasn't damaged by, low branches or road debris flying up there or whatever. That's very important to do. People do not inspect their roof enough, generally speaking, of course. Okay, so here we are inside. Pre-wired for solar, that's all it's telling us. There's a port here, and there'll be a solar port on the roof, that you can hook a panel into if you choose to. This is the main light switch. Is also a dimmer, so you can see. Let me get it to work properly here. There you go. Whoops, like so. And then you have your outside and your inside lights here. Wait a minute, I think it's backwards. There you go. Okay. Now your water heater, you light it right here. Okay, and there's a switch. There's another switch outside for the electric part. It hasn't changed in years. So to turn your water pump on, it's right there. Battery is charged. Fresh water is empty. Black is empty. Both grays are empty. Gray number 1 will be in the bathroom, sink and shower water. Gray 2 will be for the kitchen sink. It's a galley tank. So keep that in mind. Okay. You have a fireplace. Now the fireplace has a remote, first of all, but you can see right now we're off. I don't know if you can see that. Low and high. That's the fan speed, right? So it's a space heater also. So now it's kicking out the warm air. You can change the appearance of the fire this way. If you see, blue, white, regular look. Like so, okay. And it also you can change the more of the color part of the flame this way. Trying to find the right thing here. That looks pretty good. So one other thing it has is a timer. So you can set the timer. Let's say you get up at the same time every morning. You can set the timer to turn on, 15-20 minutes before you get out of bed, and it'll take the chill out of the room, of course. This is your sound here. Here's the remote for it. So let me get down on my knee here so we can see. So basically it's very simple. It has an AM/FM radio. It has Bluetooth, so you can stream wirelessly from your phone or your tablet. It has a USB, so you can stream from a USB stick. This HDMI is in. So if you let's say you got a portable Blu-ray player or something, you could set it right here, plug it in there, and you go straight into the system through here. Of course, there's no TV yet, but when you put a TV on, the TV will be included in the system. Before I go on to that, let me say one more thing. It also has 2 speaker zones. Zone 1 is inside the trailer, Zone 2 is outside the trailer. Okay. Now, when it comes, one last thing, that one down here. This is the signal booster for the digital antenna. Of course, your TV is going to hook up to this. You can see I could turn that green LED on and off like that. You're going to want it on when you're using it because you will not get a good signal unless it's on. Another thing, this is, we're talking about how it was pre-wired for solar. This is also pre-wired for a Wi-Fi signal booster. There will be another panel on the roof where the antenna would go for the booster, and then a router would go on here and sit right on this shelf here. So it just gives you a better signal when you're using public Wi-Fi. That's all. Okay, but that's an option. If you do go for it and you're looking at the different options, always go with the one that has an antenna, because that's important. The ones without antenna don't work nearly as well. All right. So I was mentioning the TV. There's backer back here, so you got something strong to mount to. Now, if you can, it's a little bit more money, but if you get the type of bracket that locks into place, that's better, because you don't have to use straps in that case. Straps are okay, but they're unsightly and they're kind of a pain. But if it doesn't lock into place, you have to put straps on it, so it doesn't get caught by the slide out going in and out. It just doesn't get damaged when you're traveling, that sort of thing, okay? Okay. Let me see here. I told you about the vent outside for the range hood. There's the fan there. The light. Always open the baffle so it flaps freely. Microwave works like any other microwave. The range works like most RV ranges. You're going to spark it. Let me see here. I think he's got the gas turned on here. So you go to turn it on, and then you spark right there. This is the knob all the way to the left. You turn it clockwise to spark. You got 3 knobs, 3 burners. Then the 4th one is for the oven. Down here, all the way to the back, there's a pilot light. I can probably make it spark for you. There you go. You can see it sparking. Okay. So what you do is you come over here, you turn it on to the flame, to the pilot light, then you depress it and keep it depressed. Then with the other hand you'll spark it by turning it clockwise until you see it light down here. Once it lights, you still hold it in for another 10 seconds or so. You let it go to operating temperature, and that's it. It cycles as an oven does. When you shut it off, the flame goes out obviously, but so does the pilot light. So it's gonna, each time you use the oven, you're gonna have to relight the pilot light. Okay, that's that. Now, let me get over here a little bit. This out of the way. Move this curtain up out of the way. Both your mattresses are on the top now. I'm not sure everybody's got that, but keep that in mind. Also, this device here is your power converter. So what it does, it converts AC to DC power. So it takes 110 AC that when you're plugged in, which is this side. You can see you got household type circuit breakers, and they're all labeled. Then the rest of the power is converted to 12 volt DC over here. You got 12 volt fuses, and they're all labeled. If any of these fuses blow, you'll actually see them glowing through this tinted plastic here. Okay. Also, when you're plugged in, this is a battery tender, so it'll always keep your battery charged too, as long as you're plugged in. This device next to it is the carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It should always be green like that. If it's not, get it serviced. Now, if it goes off, you just take everybody outside, leave the door open, leave anything open you can. Shut the gas off of the front and figure out what's going on. Okay. Your thermostat. It works like every other thermostat. You just have a mode button that lights it up. Then you scroll through it. Fan low, high auto, cool, low, high auto, and back to heat, right? And then off. So when they give you the option for auto with the fan, always use that because it'll work much better if you do that, especially with the air conditioner or the fan. The fan is just the air conditioner running without the compressor. It just circulates air. All right, so this works like any other RV bathroom, plus the toilet's the same as they all are. So basically, you have a flush pedal here, right? Directly below here is the black tank, which is right down there. So you can't run it dry because if you use it when it's dry, the smell will be very severe. So you always remember before you use it, when you're just pulled in the campground, your black tank's empty, you hook up your power to your water, you come in here, you dump 1 dose of chemical in there, and then step on the pedal, water will come swirling out, and you put about 1 gallon of water in there. Some people use more, it's up to you. But you got to have water and chemical in there to use it. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. And this GFCI here, keep in mind that even the plug on the outside is wired through this GFCI, so you may have to reset it in here, okay? Alright. Table drops down so you can turn it into a bed. That couch jackknifes, okay? So you got 2 places to sleep. Plus the bunks, of course. So there is storage underneath the bed. You can hook up a TV here, and there is a backing plate here, right there, it feels like. So you can hook a TV there up if you want to. I guess, let me look around. I think that about covers it. This is a smoke alarm, of course. The refrigerator runs on 12-volt DC, so keep that in mind. Okay. So I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit, and please remember what I said about inspecting the roof every 90 days. That's important. And also right now we're winterized, so it's good for the winter. Okay? Thank you.